His Majesty the Sultan Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam leaves Istanbul after a 5-day state visit to the Republic of Turkey. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Her Royal Highness Paduka Seri Pangeran Anak Isteri consent to attend a royal banquet in conjunction with the installation of the 14th Seri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong of Malaysia. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good evening and welcome to News at 10. I'm Azrul Bakar.
And I'm Siti Badra Haji Muhammad Yusuf.
His Majesty Sultan Haji Hassan al-Bolkiah Muizzuddin Wad Dawlah Ibn Almarhum Sultan Haji Umar Ali Saifuddin Sadul Khariwaddin, the Sultan Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam, left Istanbul, the Republic of Turkey, last night after a 5-day state visit to the Republic. Doa Selamat was read by the State Mufti Yang Berhormat Pehin Datuk Seri Maharaja Datuk Paduka Seri Setia Dr. Ustaz Haji Awang Abdul Aziz bin Junid.
وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
His Majesty was accorded a static guard of honor mounted by the Republic of Turkey Armed Forces personnel, present at the Ataturk International Airport, Istanbul, to bid farewell to His Majesty were Turkey's Minister for European Union Affairs, His Excellency Ayman Bayis, as the Minister in attendance, the Governor of Istanbul, His Excellency Hussein Avni Mutlu, the Mayor of Istanbul, His Excellency Dr. Kadir Topbaş, the Ambassador of the Republic of Turkey to Brunei Darussalam, Her Excellency Serap Atay, and other senior officials of the Turkish government. Also present at the airport were the Brunei Darussalam Ambassador to the Republic of Turkey, His Excellency Datuk Paduka Haji Abdul Mukti bin Haji Muhammad Daud, and officials from the Brunei Darussalam Embassy in the Republic of Turkey. His Royal Highness Prince Haji Al-Muhtadi Billah Ibni His Majesty Sultan Haji Hassan al-Bolkiah Muizzuddin Wad Dawlah, the Crown Prince and Senior Minister at the Prime Minister's Office, as personal representative of His Majesty the Sultan Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam, and Her Royal Highness Paduka Seri Pangeran Anak Isteri Pangeran Anak Sarah binti Pangeran Haji Saleh Abrahaman, have consented to attend the royal banquet in conjunction with the installation of Duli Yang Maha Mulia Al-Mu'tasimu Billahi Muhibbuddin Tuanku Al-Haj Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah Ibn Almarhum Sultan Badli Shah as the 14th Seri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong of Malaysia at Istana Negara, Malaysia. The royal banquet took place at the Dewan Persantapan, Istana Negara, Kuala Lumpur. Upon arrival at the Anjong Utama, Istana Negara, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Her Royal Highness Pangeran Anak Isteri were greeted by the Minister of Information, Communications and Culture Malaysia as Chairman of Special Coronation Committee Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Utama Dr. Rais Yatim and wife Yang Berbahagia Datin Seri Utama Masnah Rais, as well as other members of the committee before proceeding to Sri Maharaja Hall. From Sri Maharaja Hall, the Sri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong of Malaysia, Sri Paduka Baginda Raja Permaisuri Agong, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Her Royal Highness Pangeran Anak Isteri, as well as Duli Yang Maha Mulia Malay rulers, Duli Yang Maha Mulia Acting Ruler, Their Excellencies Yang di-Pertua Negeri, Yang Maha Berhormat the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Yang Maha Berhormat Deputy Prime Minister of Malaysia and wives, proceeded to Sri Negara Hall for a photo session before proceeding to the banquet hall. Accompanying His Royal Highness was Yang Maha Mulia Pangeran Muda Abdul Kawi. Before the royal banquet began, a dua was read by the Mufti of Federal Territory, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Wan Haji Zahidi bin Wan Teh. After the royal banquet, Sri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong and Sri Paduka Baginda Raja Permaisuri Agong, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Her Royal Highness Pangeran Anak Isteri proceeded to Anjong Utama together with other royal guests before leaving the ceremony. Also accompanying His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Her Royal Highness Pangeran Anak Isteri at the ceremony was Yang Amat Mulia Pangeran Muda Abdul Qawi. Sri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong Duli Yang Maha Mulia Al-Muqtasimu Billahi Muhibbuddin Tuanku Al-Haj Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah Ibni Almarhum Sultan Badli Shah, the Sultan of Kedah, was selected as the 14th Yang di-Pertuan Agong of Malaysia to replace Duli Yang Maha Mulia Al-Watiku Billah Al-Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin Ibni Almarhum Sultan Mahmud Al-Muqtafi Billah Shah, whose term as the 13th Yang di-Pertuan Agong ended last December.
His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Her Royal Highness Paduka Sri Pangeran Anak Isteri departed Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia after attending the installation and royal banquet of Duli Yang Maha Mulia Al-Muqtasimu Billahi Muhibbuddin Tuanku Al-Haj Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah Ibni Almarhum Sultan Badli Shah, the 14th Sri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong of Malaysia. Before departure from the Subang Royal Malaysian Air Force Base, doa selamat was read by Yang Dimuliakan Pihin Khatib Awang Haji Imran bin Haji Kuncang at the hotel where His Royal Highness and Her Royal Highness were staying. Also present were Yang Teramat Mulia Pangeran Muda Abdul Muntaqim and Yang Teramat Mulia Pangeran Anak Munirah Madhul Bolkiah. Accompanying His Royal Highness was Yang Amat Mulia Pangeran Muda Abdul Qawi. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Her Royal Highness Paduka Sri Pangeran Anak Isteri then consented to walk past a static guard of honour mounted by the 6th Royal Ranger Regiment of the Malaysian Armed Forces. Present at the Subang Royal Malaysian Air Force Base to bid farewell with the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Malaysia, Yang Berhormat Datuk Richard Riot Anak Jaim, Deputy Chief of Protocol, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Malaysia, Encik Muzaffar Shah Mustafa, and Secretary of Istiadat Section and International Convention Secretariat, Prime Minister's Office of Malaysia, Datuk Wan Hamidah binti Wan Ibrahim, as well as senior officers of the Malaysian government. Also present to bid farewell were the High Commissioner of Brunei Darussalam to Malaysia, His Excellency Datuk Paduka Haji Ishaq bin Haji Abdullah and Datin, as well as officers at the High Commission of Brunei Darussalam to Malaysia. The debate on women's inheritance is an endless issue. Every day it's debated among academics, especially on the subject of distribution of inheritance for women compared to the allocation for men. This debate arose as the effect of changes in the social system of the Muslim community that are different from the era of the Prophet when Allah's decree was delivered. This matter was highlighted in a working paper entitled Women's Inheritance Rights Between the Sharia Principles and the Requirement of the Social Change, on the second and final day of the International Conference on the Rights of Muslim Women in the Modern World this morning. Present at the conference was Her Royal Highness Princess Hajah Mutawakilah Hayatul Bolkiah binti His Majesty Sultan Haji Hasnal Bolkiah Mu'izzuddin wa Daulah, a lecturer from the Fiqh and Usul Department, Islamic Studies Academy, University Malaya. Dr. Muhammad Anwar Ramli, in presenting the working paper, said that with better educational opportunities, there are now many career women who are contributing to the family economy. This scenario has changed the landscape of the domestic life. In other words, women are no longer merely involved in a narrow domestic area, but are now able to work along with men in the public world. The conference was held at the Bridex Convention Hall, Jerudong. Her Royal Highness Princess Hajah Mutawakilah Hayatul Bolkiah also attended the after session of the conference. A lecturer from the Sultan Sharif Ali Islamic University, UNISA, Associate Professor Dr. Nihaluddin Ahmed, in his working paper entitled Socio-Political Rights of Muslim Women in the Islamic World, an Assessment, touched on the need to distinguish Islamic prohibition according to Islamic principles from social, cultural and legal barriers on Muslim women. The conference saw the presentation of 22 working papers focused on several fields and issues, including those on marriage and divorce, inheritance-related economy, business, career, as well as political and educational rights.
The Mukam art troupe from Xinjiang, China, complete with a systematic music structure, colorful tones, sophisticated performing skills and changeful rhythm, showcased their talent in a cultural performance show last night in Jerudong. Present to watch the performance was Her Royal Highness Princess Hajah Masna, Ambassador at Large at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade. Also present was the Minister of Development and Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports. The China Charming Xinjiang cultural performance was organized by the government of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in collaboration with the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports of Brunei Darussalam. Uyghur Mukam arts were handed down verbally among the common people and are on the verge of extinction due to chaos and convulsions caused by war. The 10th National Development Plan targets an economic growth rate of at least 6% per annum.
Details after this excerpt of His Majesty's Dita.
Since the 4th of January, the Philippines' Washi Tropical Storm Humanitarian Fund has collected a total of $200,000. The handover of the donations took place this afternoon. Donations from the government departments from all 4 districts, the private sector, non-government organizations and private educational institutions were presented to the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports, Yang Berhormat, Bihin Orang Kaya Perkara Laila Diraja, Datuk Sri Setia Awang Haji Hazair, and the Acting Minister of Religious Affairs, Pangeran Datuk Paduka Haji Bahrom. Also present at the function was the Deputy Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports, Datin Paduka Haji Hadina.
The International Conference on Rights of Muslim Women in the Modern World aims to identify challenges and obstacles faced by Muslim women, as well as actions that need to be taken to overcome them. On the second and closing day of the conference today, 7 more working papers were presented. Last night, speakers and members of the event's organizing committee were honored at a dinner in Brakas. Present was the Attorney General Yang Berhormat Datin Sri Paduka Haji Hayati binti Pihin Orang Kaya Shah Bandar Datuk Paduka Haji Muhammad Saleh. The conference aimed at building an understanding on women's rights in Islam and in the participating countries while staving off un-Islamic elements that could influence the implementation of relevant laws. The 2-day conference was held at the Bridex International Convention Center in Jerudong. Innovation, particularly technical innovation, is the key to high economic growth. Innovation is also important for a firm where continuous improvement in products and processes can contribute to increase in their revenues. With this in mind, it is no surprise that Brunei emphasizes the need for her people to be a more innovative society. As much as it is for the nation to encourage innovation, it is also important there is an enabling environment to support and encourage it as well. The Deputy Minister of the Prime Minister's Office highlighted this during the Local Enterprise Applications and Products LIP Program Grant Awards 2012 this afternoon. Datuk Paduka Wang Haji Ali bin Haji Apong, in his capacity as the Chairman of the Brunei Economic Development Board, BEDB, underlined that innovation should have an environment where people value, protect and reward ideas and inventions, as well as where the society continuously seek for new knowledge, technologies and processes to be brought into the market.
To create the right platforms and programs to provide the necessary supporting environment where ideas can flourish. iCenter is one of fine example where we have created a platform to encourage innovation and entrepreneurship in the ICT industry. We have provided aspiring entrepreneurs with facilities and programs to create the vibrant and conducive environment where ideas are exchanged and improve upon. To date, we have incubated 26 companies, with at least 5 of them already achieving some international presence. We have also created a few programs to support innovative ideas across the different stages of product development. LEAP was created to support costs and offset some risks in the development of new ideas and prototypes.
The LEAP program is essentially to cover the cost of development of those prototypes. It helps to fund the costs to hire manpower and purchase of hardware and software, and even the cost to protect intellectual property, capped at $150,000 per company. To date, LEAP has committed slightly over $2 million to fund a total of 15 companies, including those being awarded today.
The 10th National Development Plan, NDP-10, is the second 5-year plan in the Brunei Darussalam long-term development planning for 2007 to 2035. In line with the strategic and policy framework for development stated in the Brunei Vision 2035, NDP-10 will continue the efforts towards achieving the economic growth target of 6% per year. The launching ceremony of the 10th National Development Plan will be held this Saturday at the International Convention Centre, Brakas. In conjunction with the launch, various activities have been arranged. Among them are the exhibition of NDP-10 projects. The exhibition will be put up by 12 ministries and several relevant agencies. In an interview with RTB, the Acting Director of Human Resource Development, Economic Planning and Development Department, Mr. Lim Hong Huat, explained more about the exhibition and its objective. He said the exhibition will include guidelines for advertisement of products and projects that have been completed or those that are still being or will be implemented. The main aim is to ensure that the public know about the NDP and the projects under the plan. And also included in the exhibition will be the theme of the NDP-10, that is, knowledge and innovation, enhanced productivity and economic growth.
Project-project yang di dalam AKN. And juga kan kami kan dipamerkan is one of the things is our tema AKN 10, iaitu pengetahuan dan inovasi, meningkat produktiviti, menciptakan pertumbuhan ekonomi.
In the afternoon, a forum will be conducted by the Department of Economic Planning and Development, DEPD, the Prime Minister's Office, and the Ministry of Communications. The forum will continue until the 16th of April. For the NDP forum, Mr. Lim Hong Huat said the department has selected several main ministries to deliver briefings on NDP-10. DEPD will brief on its vision, the NDP-10 theme, and its main core strategy, the NDP-10 budget, as well as the NDP-9 performance.
Yang pertama is JPKI lah. JPKI kan membagi talimat mengenai wawasannya apa tema AKN 10 dan apa trust utama. Dan juga kami kan bagi talimat mengenai AKN 10 budget plus performance of AKN 9.
The 10th National Development Plan, NDP 2012 to 2017, to be unveiled this Saturday, the 14th of April, will continue efforts towards achieving the economic growth target of 6% per year. However, to achieve the target, significant changes to the economic structure are very much needed. Huaida Moksin has the report.
His Majesty the Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan Negara Brunei Darussalam and his Tita during the National Day this year touched on the redoubling of national efforts towards diversification of the economy. Through the 10th NDP, His Majesty pointed out one of the focus is to create a more conducive business environment for the private sector in order for them to expand more quickly and easily. In relation to the development sector, His Majesty expressed the hope for enhanced commitment in implementing the initiatives and projects under the 10th National Development Plan, particularly in providing services to the public. NDP 2007-2012 launch marks a strategic shift in the planning and implementation of development programs. The first NDP is formulated based on the Brunei Vision 2035. Looking back, 4 core developments of the NDP 2007-2012 were widening the economic base and strengthening the basis for knowledge-based economy, KBE, accelerating social development and maintaining political stability, increasing the number of highly skilled workforce and strengthening institutional capacity. In the NDP 2007-2012, a total of 9.5 billion Brunei dollars has been allocated to finance the implementation of 826 projects contained in the 257 programs. This allocation represents an increase of 30% of the allocation of the 8th NDP. To increase the level of funding, the government continued to increase its effort to seek other financial sources. Private sector participation in financing development projects and programs continue to be promoted through the Capital of Public-Private Partnership (PPP). The government also accelerated the process of privatization and cooperation. In the meantime, the government has accelerated its efforts in attracting foreign direct investment. Several measures were implemented to enhance the investment climate and business. This includes providing policy and investment rules, a world-class infrastructure, competitive incentive packages, transparent procedures, adequate legal infrastructure, developing human resources as well as skilled and productive SME global level. The projects completed include mega projects such as the Sungai Liang Industrial Park, 2,000 houses in Kampong Pandan, Pangal Hill Power Station, Ulu Tutong Dam, and the Asia America submarine cable. I'm Huaida Moxon, reporting for RTB News.
This year alone, 11 lives have been lost as a result of road accidents whose locations were not confined to the main network of roads across the country, but also in high-risk areas such as near schools and the like. Given the monthly average road fatality rate of 4, the tally for this year can be projected to reach 48 fatalities, which is more than in the year 2011. This was highlighted by the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Communications during the mini-forum organised by participants of the 10th Executive Development Programme for Middle Management Officers 2012 this morning. Datuk Peruka Haji Awang Alaihuddin, who is also the Chairman of the Brunei Darussalam Road Safety Council (BDRSC), went on to say that in the National Action Plan for the decade 2011-2020, the BDRSC has outlined a target to reduce and minimize the rate of fatalities and injuries resulting from road accidents. He said to achieve the objective, the Ministry of Communications will apply the psychology, technology and solidarity approach in whatever is being planned or implemented, based on the 5E concept of education, enforcement, engineering, environment and emergency. According to the Permanent Secretary, we, not just the BDRSC and relevant parties, but the community as a whole, must do something regarding the issue and believe that death from road accident is avoidable. He said that road accidents are caused by various factors and the BDRSC have identified the main cause of road accidents to be driving habits, including using mobile phones while driving, as well as driving over the speed limit. Also present at the mini-forum were the Commissioner of Police as the Vice Chairman of the BDRSC, yang dimuliakan Pilihan Orang Kaya Pendidikan Alam Datuk Peruka Haji Hasrin bin Datuk Peruka Haji Sabtu, and other senior government officers. The mini-forum sees the issue of road accidents as a responsibility for all. The forum, which carries the theme of Remind Them of the Importance of Road Safety, What's Our Role?, was discussed by panels from several angles, including technical, current phenomena, education perspective, Islamic and spiritual. The Tourism Development Department has identified the need for tourism industry partners and key stakeholders together to collect, store and monitor tourism activities in Brunei and to disseminate relevant information. This includes promoting Brunei as a unique destination known for its Malay and Islamic traditions. In realizing the effort, a project contract signing ceremony for the design, development, supply, delivery, installation, testing, commissioning and maintenance of hardware and software and related software of an e-statistic system was held. The signing was between the Government of His Majesty the Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam through the Ministry of Industry and Primary Resources and Alif Technologies Sendirian Berhad. Signing on behalf of the Tourism Development Department was its director, Sheikh Jamaluddin bin Sheikh Mohammed, and Chief Executive Officer of Alif Technologies Nurian Berhad, Haji Muhammad Arbi bin Haji Abdul Hamid. The objective of TESS is to retrieve information regarding tourist arrivals statistics with the ease of collecting data on a system which stores information automatically. Through TESS, data will be processed more effectively and also reduces the workforce required to operate the system. This system is aimed at aiding the national tourism statistical system for the tourism industry. The event was held at the Ministry of Industry and Primary Resources.
The first of its kind, the History Oratory competition will begin this month with the aim to mould critical thinking culture among secondary schools and higher educational institutions. The competition is organised by the Brunei History Centre with the cooperation of the Co-Curriculum Education Department to raise thinking among students to value the nation's history. In this morning's media conference, the Deputy Principal of the Brunei History Centre, Awang Haji Abdul Karim bin Haji Abdul Rahman, said the competition is to vie for the Minister of Culture Youth and Sports Trophy and is divided into three categories. Category A for government and non-government higher education institutions. Category B is for government and non-government sixth form centres, while Category C is for government and non-government secondary schools nationwide. According to him, the oratory competition is not only to seek champions, but also as a process for participants to learn and understand Brunei's history through oratory and the processes to become orators.
Tetapi untuk ada sebagai satu proses ke arah diorang belajar sejarah. Bagaimana untuk kita ni menghayati sejarah negara kita ni adalah melalui dengan pidato.
The preliminary rounds of the competition will begin on April the 30th. The semi-finals will be on May the 9th, while the finals will be held on August 29th. Participation forms are available online at www.pusatsejarah.gov.bn or on blog narawahana.blogspot.com or facebook.com/narawahana. Entries must be submitted to the Participation and Registration Committee of the competition at the Brunei History Centre in Jalan Stony, Bandar Seri Begawan, no later than Saturday the 19th of April. Further information is available by calling 2240-166, 2240-167 or 2240-168.
From this car forward, there's no going back. With 4 distinct driving modes and Lexus dynamic handling, the next generation of Lexus will not be contained. The all-new Lexus GS, powering you. Lexus.
Road accidents in the country have risen sharply, prompting a serious look into prioritizing road safety issues. Driving behavior and attitude are a cause for concern. The Land Transport Department this afternoon held a roadshow on the new demerit point system implementation in Temburong. Acting Senior Special Duties Officer at the Ministry of Communications, Haji Johari bin Haji Karim, in his briefing at the roadshow revealed that the demerit system aimed to discipline drivers into taking proper precautions and obey every road traffic regulation. The introduction of the new system is now timely for implementation with the increase in cases of driving offences. He added it is essential for the demerit system to be disseminated to the public so that people would understand better and feel encouraged to take more care in driving on the roads before the pilot project is fully implemented in the middle of next year. According to him, the system will be implemented fully in mid-2013 based on 2 categories of drivers, probationary and skilled.
About 20 undergraduates of University Islam Sultan Sharif Ali, UNISA, and 17 from University Science Islam Malaysia, USIM, this afternoon participated in a dakwah program Sepatang di Temburong, the first of its kind, hosted by UNISA through its Usuluddin faculty and conducted with cooperation from the Islamic Dakwah Center. Among the aims of the program were to give undergraduates from both institutions a close-up look at the Dakwah composition in the country. The program took place at the prayer hall in Kampong Sibut. The program aims to propagate Islam in the country through numerous Dakwah component activities. Differences in teaching theories were also discussed in a lecture session and tutorials that was a platform to conduct Dakwah activities in the nation in particular and in this nation in general. Numerous activities will be held during the program, including Smart Salat, conducted by undergraduates for female new converts. Apart from that, voluntary work at the new converts house in Kampong Sibut was carried out by the university students. The Police Reserve Unit Company C has foiled an attempt to smuggle 65 cartons of cigarettes with various brands into the country. The seizure was made while members of the unit were patrolling the vicinity of Kampong Bupulo. 2 local men in their 40s were arrested while loading 2 bags into their car. Those arrested and items confiscated were taken to the Limau Manis police station for further investigation. The case will be handed over to the Royal Customs and Excise Department for further action.
Towards getting the young generation to value our national heritage, the Museums Department, through the Studies Service Department, this morning conducted a paddy harvesting activity under the Love Our Heritage program. The activity took place at a paddy field in Kampong Pangkalan Mau in the Tutong district. Some 60 students from the Awang Semaun and Saidina Umar Al-Khattab secondary schools in the Brunei Muara district, with officers and staff of the Museums Department, took part. It was a follow-up to last November's paddy plantation. Meanwhile, the acting study service officer at the Museums Department, Haji Bahrain bin Hajibul Hassan, hoped the activity would teach students from town areas the traditional methods of paddy harvesting as opposed to technical. He said they selected Kampong Pangkalan Mau as farmers there used traditional methods which they wanted the students to learn compared to machine-based methods. In efforts to raise public awareness on the roles and responsibilities of Pusat Ehsan Al-Amira Al-Hajjah Maryam towards the welfare of the underprivileged, this year the Pusat Ehsan will hold a charity run in order to collect funds for non-government organizations. The matter was disclosed by a senior trust fund holder of the Pusat Ehsan in a press conference held this morning. Dato' Paduka Haji Muhammad Alimin bin Haji Abdul Wahab said that the weekend-long activity will start on the 22nd of June and it will be filled with various activities by students and volunteers, while on the 23rd of June they will hold the Brunei Cultural Show. And a charity run will take place on Sunday, the 24th of June. The event, carrying a theme where every step matters, will be held at the waterfront in the capital. The run will comprise several categories, including the 21-kilometer semi-marathon and the 12 and 5-kilometer veteran student serious and fun and family run. A 2-kilometer run will also be held for those using wheelchairs as well as special needs people. Dato' Paduka Haji Muhammad Alimin also said that various categories are held to encourage family participation. For those interested in participating in the event, they can obtain a participation form and get more information on the event through the website therun.com.bn. Leading our world news tonight, Japan starts off the day on high alert as South Korea denounces Pyongyang's planned rocket launch.
UN Security Council condemns the recent violence between Sudan and South Sudan, calling for cessation of hostilities and a return to the negotiating table. Stay with us for the details. Japan starts off with the day on high alert, waiting for the launch of North Korea's rocket, which could fly over its territories, but there is no sign of a launch yet. Elsewhere, South Koreans and tourists visiting the observatory overlooking the border dividing North and South Korea denounced Pyongyang's planned rocket launch. The isolated state has said it would launch a rocket carrying a weather satellite sometime between today and April 16, morning to noon.
The North rejected international protests over its launch and has said that it was injecting fuel into the rocket. Regional powers also worry it could be the prelude to another nuclear test, a pattern that hermit states set in 2009. Visitors at the observatory said they were against Pyongyang's planned rocket launch. The launch of the UNHA-3 rocket, which North Korea says will merely put a weather satellite into space, breaches UN sanctions imposed to stop the country developing a missile that could carry a nuclear warhead. At the Japanese Defense Ministry in Tokyo, media and staff were on full alert since 7 in the morning, the earliest time at which North Korea said they would launch their rocket. The Japanese Defense Minister Naoki Tanaka has said that Japan needs to be ready for any possibility. There was also heightened activity visible on US bases in Japan on Thursday. A dozen fighter jets and other large-sized aircraft were seen taking off from Kadena Air Base in Okinawa.
The United Nations Security Council has strongly condemned the escalating violence between Sudan and its southern neighbor, the newly formed South Sudan.
Susan Rice, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations and currently the Security Council president, spoke on behalf of council members, saying the group wanted to see an end to clashes that threatened to spark a full-blown conflict. She added that the Security Council was united in its opposition to the hostility between the two Sudanese countries and that in the coming days the whole body would continue its effort to have a conciliatory influence. Sudan announced it would mobilize its army against South Sudan and halted talks with Juba over oil payments and other disputed issues after the South-occupied Heglig, an oil field vital to the North's economy. South Sudan in turn accused Sudan of bombing a village on the southern side of the 1,800-kilometer border. Sudan's remaining output only serves domestic consumption. Each side accuses the other of backing rebels in their territory.
Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos says he wants the agenda at the Summit of the Americas to unite participating countries and says he will not allow the international drug war to dominate discussion.
As Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos looks ahead to hosting this weekend Summit of the Americas and raising his profile on the world stage, he stressed that the drug war that affects so much of Latin America will not be the summit's primary topic. At a news conference at Cartagena, President Santos signaled his desire to find common ground, suggesting a willingness to assume a regional mediator role usually reserved for South American giant Brazil. The event in Colombia's historic Caribbean coastal city of Cartagena will include regional heads of state and U.S. President Barack Obama on his first trip to the Andean nation. Colombia has long been the closest U.S. ally in the region and has often maintained strained ties with leftist neighbors.
Democratic Republic of Congo President Joseph Kabila has announced that authorities would arrest a serving army general wanted by the International Criminal Court, ICC, for war crimes.
The ICC has been seeking Bosco Ntaganda's arrest for 6 years on charges he conscripted children to fight in a bloody ethnic conflict in northeastern Congo that grew out of a broader civil war. Ntaganda denies involvement in war crimes. President Joseph Kabila made this statement during a trip to eastern Congo, where Ntaganda has remained a divisive figure at the heart of the unrest long after the official end of the 1998-2003 war. The head of the Congolese army, General Didier Itumba, said Bosco was responsible for the killings performed by men under his command. Ntaganda's exact whereabouts were unclear, said Itumba, saying the army is looking for him. Congolese authorities had previously resisted calls to arrest him, saying he was the linchpin for a fragile peace deal that integrated his fighters into the national army in 2009.
A strong earthquake has hit Mexico, shaking buildings in the capital and sending people running out of offices onto the streets, though there were no early reports of major damage.
It was the third major quake to hit Mexico in less than a month. A 7.4 magnitude quake struck on March 20, damaging hundreds of buildings in the southwest. Office workers Aggie Madrigal said quakes always cause a bit of an anxiety, but there was no panic. Mexico City Mayor Marcelo Ebrard said on his Twitter account there were no initial signs of serious damage and that key services in the capital, including its subway system and international airport, were functioning. The U.S. Geological Survey said the 7.0 magnitude quake struck in the western state of Michoacan at a depth of 65.6 kilometers.
And now tonight and tomorrow's weather forecast and local tide charts.
Let's take a look at the Nisab Zakat or tithe rates for cash and property.
This foreign exchange segment is brought to you by HSBC.
The Brunei Kampumanis Memorial Grandmaster Open 2012 ended this afternoon with the presentation of prizes. Presenting the prizes was the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports, Yang Berhormat PN Orang Kaya Perkara Laila Diraja, Datuk Sri Setia Awang Haji Hazair. FIDE Master Rating 2494 from Uzbekistan, Grandmaster Zumai Marat emerged champions in the event with 6.5 points and received $1,500 cash prize and a trophy. Meanwhile, FIDE Master Rating 2250 Yi Sun Wei from Brunei Darussalam placed 16 with 43.5, received $250 with a trophy. 40 chess players from 7 countries took part in the championship.
The Netball Championship for secondary schools, colleges and private schools from Zone 1 ended this afternoon. The championship was organised jointly by the Curriculum Education Department and the Saidina Umar Al-Khattab Secondary School in Mukim Lumapas. It was held at the multipurpose hall of the Hasnal Bolkiah National Stadium, Rakas. At the championship, the B group of the Sekolah Tinggi Perempuan Raja Isteri beat the Sekolah Menengah Sultan Hassan in Bangar, Temburong 16-6. Meanwhile, the C group of the Girls High School clinched victory after beating the Maktab Duli Pengiran Muda Al-Muhtadi Billah in Gadong 21-3. Finally, let's reflect on the tradition of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as narrated by Al-Bayhaqi and Abu Nu'aym on the consequence of consuming anything that is haram or forbidden in Islam.
For every soul that grows from things that are haram, hellfire befits it in consequence.
This has been News at 10 on behalf of Haji Azral and the rest of the team here in Studio 3. I'm Badri Haji Muhammad Yusuf, wishing you a pleasant day tomorrow. Good night.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.